Welcome everyone to the L7C Content Tuesday edition. We are here with the Content Tuesday crew talking some college football. We got right now currently the OGs of the L7C podcast, the Captain Byron Mitchell and the anime expert Cedric Ware. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. It's Tuesday, October 1st. October's about to get busy. Are you culture people out there? A lot of movies, games, anime coming out. I'm trying to get ready for it.
Awesome.
Feels good to make it to October. It's going to be great times. So much great things coming to the world. There's a little bit of something for a little bit of everybody. So even if you ain't so cultured, there's something for you still involved in October.
That's facts. And for the people, aka Desmond Howard, who said that Ohio State is taking the whole month of September off because they didn't play a Power Five team. We're playing Power Five teams in October, so I guess according to Desmond Howard, our season officially starts now.
I guess we're a real football team now.
Yeah, fuck you, Desmond.
Oh man, there's a lot we're gonna get into today, man, with some close calls, some fantastic games, and some wooziness all around. But obviously, we're a Buckeye show, so Byron, take it away. What happened this past Saturday?
Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes went into Michigan State, won 38-7. Will Howard 24 for 31, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 fumble. Devin Brown came in for a couple of plays near the end of the second quarter because Howard got the wind knocked out of him. He went 2 for 4, 31 yards, 1 touchdown. Run game was a little interesting. Quinshon Judkins had 11 for 64 yards. Travion Henderson, 7 for 69 yards, no touchdowns either for Judkins or Henderson. Will Howard had a rushing touchdown. Emeka Buka, 7 for 96, 1 touchdown. Jeremiah Smith, 5 for 83, a beautiful 1 yard touchdown thrown by Devin Brown. Jeremiah Smith also had a 19-yard rushing touchdown. G. Scott got his first touchdown this season. Defense, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 sacks. I like that the defense stepped up after that performance against Marshall. The only thing negative I would say is just for Will Howard to protect the ball better. Luckily, we were able to recover that fumble, but Michigan State did score off of that interception.
Fair enough. Cedric, what did you like about this game from Ohio State? What things do you think they can improve on, and what things did you not just like?
I really liked Jeremiah Smith's kind of performance this game. I know a lot of the games this season has been kind of is he the number one option type of question that's been going on with Emeka Buka coming back for a senior year. And while Emeka is still an amazing talent, I think this kind of game, with the way that Smith played and keeping the momentum going for us offensively, I feel like, at least for this game, he was the number one guy for us. Now, things that, like Byron said, protecting the ball is very important because while it's Michigan State, we are getting into the tougher portions of our schedules, and it's only going to get tougher from here because we only got 4 weeks, and then it's November, and you can't lose in November. Mm-hmm. So protecting the ball is going to be very important. I mean, as you'll hear through the rest of this pod, like a lot of close calls for a lot of teams, and a couple upsets. And if we didn't get fortunate turnovers, that could have been us.
That's what I was gonna ask you guys. That watching that game, Michigan State, I mean, they were every time they were driving, could have scored to make the game more competitive. They turned the ball over.
Yep, and that's the thing I did not like is how easy our defense was to let them drive down the field. And it wasn't even as much as like not getting as much pressure on the quarterback. It was really just, and I understand it's hard on the secondary, but there's a lot of just open guys. Mm-hmm. And they were just he was finding all the open passes. and they were getting not just like catching like immediately hit, but they were getting some room to run at the catch, and I did not like that because we're going to start playing better offenses too, and throwing the ball is a thing in college football. Most teams can air that bitch out, for lack of better terms, like especially in the Big Ten. So that's something I hope that we can work on, at least come back and improve on as the season goes, especially this week.
Yeah, you look at that first quarter. I mean, Ohio State was only up 3-0, and that 3 points took almost 6 minutes. And then to Cedric, to your point, I mean, Jeremiah Smith, I mean, he broke the game open in the second quarter with a running touchdown and a passing touchdown. And that second quarter, too, Michigan State drove plenty of times. They got one touchdown out of it, which then at that point it was 10-7. But then they kept driving, and every time was a turnover or maybe a time to shout out to Byron, his favorite saying, just take the points. Like there was a lot of fourth downs where they could have taken a field goal and put more pressure on Ohio State, and they went for it on fourth down, and they had questionable fourth down calls, and they didn't get it, and that was it, folks.
Yeah. Definitely could have been a lot, like you said, a lot different if they hadn't went for those field goals and fourth downs. Could have been a lot closer.
Oh, yeah, because you take those fumbles away, our momentum on the offensive end shifts.
Yeah, they had 3 turnovers.
Yeah, one interception and 2 fumbles.
Yeah, take the 2 fumbles, they would score points. That's 14 points. You're already looking at 21. That might put more pressure on us. But that's the game within the game. You see a score, you think it was just easy peasy lemon squeezy, but then when you're actually watching it, a couple bounces here or there could have went a whole different direction. Like Cedric said, we could have been on the end of one of these close games. And next game that we do play, I mean, is against Iowa, and Iowa is known for having an intense defense. With them, the question is always, will their offense show up? The Iowa, I mean, this year they've had a better offense than last year, but last year was historically awful. Byron, what are you thinking? Do you think this could be a little challenge? I mean, we don't play Iowa every often. The last time we played them, they put a 50 burger on us.
Yeah, and I forgot who the quarterback was at the time, but they threw 4 interceptions, and
that was J. Was that JT? Yeah, I think it was still JT.
I think JT. Yeah, and then that was sweet corner. I can't remember his name. But
wasn't that Jair? Wasn't that Jair? Was that Jair? Well, he went.
Alexander?
No, he didn't go to Iowa. I know they had a sweet corner that went to
Iowa, and I think he had either had 4 interceptions or most a bulk of the interceptions. We made him look good that game. This year's Iowa, it depends on how
Joshua Jackson.
Yep. It depends on how Tate McNamara shows up. He is not one of my favorite quarterbacks. I think he is complete ass, but this could be a trap game for us because we do play Oregon the game after. So it just depends if we're.
Joshua he does go on. He plays for the Packers. That's why I was wondering. I was just like, I know he plays. No, I was like, I know the Packers got good secondary. So, yep.
Yeah. So it depends on if we're looking ahead to Oregon, which I hope we don't, and then which Cade McNamara shows up. Because their defense, like you said, their defense is good. And right now we're only a 20.5 point favorite. So again, I think it just depends on which version of Cade McNamara shows up.
Man, you want to talk about what we did for Josh Jackson? He was drafted by Green Bay. I don't know if he's playing now. He was on Giants, Chiefs, Cardinals, Steelers, all that. But that 2017, he was a unanimous All-American, Jack Tatum trophy for the best corner, Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year, first team All Big Ten.
So we put that man on the map.
Pour them things on us. But Cedric, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, Byron said it. This is the game right before Oregon. Hopefully this team isn't looking ahead. Are you afraid this team's looking ahead, or you think they're going to be locked in, focused?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hopeful that this team is looking ahead. Is not looking ahead. The only fear I have is that we seen Georgia go down this week,
Mm-hmm.
and we seen Ole Miss go down this week, and I think this team could very well be trapped in the mindset of, oh, well, this is just Iowa. We really need to worry about Oregon, another ranked opponent in the top 10. And we need to be prepared. Like in their minds, thinking like we need to be prepared for Oregon. We need to be prepared for Oregon, and that's where my fear is. Just because we have a lot of top ten teams falling and having tough games, so I honestly think this will be a challenging game for Will Howard. As we all know, we just talked about it. Iowa can't turn that ball over. They have a high scoring defense. They've had one for the past 2-3 years of just their defense outscores their offense easily. And sometimes they'll win, like their defense gets 3 or 4 touchdowns a game. And I think it's very key. And it will be very important for Will Howard to protect the ball on his end, as well as both our running backs not to drop the ball. They cannot let interceptions or fumbles happen against this team. I mean, K. McNamara is ass. Like he's a failed Michigan quarterback, but I really want us to focus on not giving them opportunities for us to fall in the trap. So,
Yeah, I mean, currently right now, Ohio State's a 20-point favorite. Like, I just want to see if Iowa limits the big plays. Like, if we get in it, what happens when Ohio State just doesn't get one of those big 50-yard passes to Jeremiah or Emeka Ibuka or Quinshawn Junkins doesn't break one open or Travion? Like, if we have to play a grind out game, what does that look like?
I mean, I think I think we'd be okay in a grind out game because honestly, if I think Will Howard's more susceptible to throwing an interception because he's going to make a bad pass call. Because I mean, his guy has been busting everyone's ass for the last 4 weeks. Like Jeremiah Smith's been busting single coverage, double coverage. Doesn't really fucking matter. He's been getting open. And I think that could go to your head as a quarterback when you're like, oh, I see my guy in the typical routine route that he's running with the typical coverage. Psh, this is Jeremiah Smith. This is me. I'm going to throw him the ball here. And even if it's a touch too far or a touch underthrown, he's typically has always made the adjustment for it. But against this team, that is not going to be okay. Mm-hmm. So I almost would rather us kind of slow play it a little bit on the passing game. I would find it hard to believe that on the run game, Judkins or Travion doesn't bust at least one big run between the two of them.
Iron?
Yeah, I agree with everything Cedric just said. I don't want Will Howard to force it because I think the 2 interceptions he's had this season, I think he's tried to force the ball to either Ibuka or Jeremiah Smith, and with that stout Iowa defense, you can't turn the ball over. If we lose a turnover battle, it depends on how Iowa's offense is. We can potentially have a closer game than we want.
Yeah, because these past ever since that 56-0 game, like we have watched the OSU defense, especially the first drive. For whatever reason, the team just drives right down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
you've been asking for more, and it's time for JTT to.
I'm waiting.
Have a good pass. I mean, I have not seen it consistently yet, but it's about. I mean, it's there. Like it's not like the talent's not there. Yeah. That's what's frustrating. Like it's not like the talent's not there. Like,
yeah, just have a game-wrecking game. I mean, shoot. Ever since we said we wanted Emeka Ibuka to score some tutties, he scored in 2 straight games.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
So JTT, if you're listening to this, we want you to step up in October and November.
Yeah. Amen to that. Amen to that. Man, Byron, why does Oklahoma State suck?
I don't know.
What happened, man? Kansas State, Oklahoma State playing, really trying to keep their Big 12 hopes alive, and Oklahoma State got smoked.
Yeah, they got smoked. They both got lost previous weeks before, but I came on this podcast last week. I said Avery Johnson was my trash can of the week. This week he went 19 for 31, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. But their run game really killed Oklahoma State. DJ Giddens, 15 carries for 147 yards, touchdown, and then Avery Johnson, 5 for 60 and 2 touchdowns. So if they had limited their, if Oklahoma State had a limited Kansas State run game, they probably could have either won or had a closer game. But after that second quarter, Kansas State really just put the hurting on them.
42-20. 42 to
And I
20.
picked Oklahoma State too.
Avery Johnson took it personal. He's like, I'm gonna get five. He's like, I'm gonna get 5 tutties for that man Byron on that podcast talking about me.
Oh man, yeah, and Kansas State, Will Howard's former school. So, Cedric, you brought up some of the upsets. One of them was a shocker, and since this person isn't here, ever since he's talked shit about this team, they've been on a little path. They were a Mark Stoops bad call away. Should have went for it. They would have beat Georgia potentially, and then now they just took out Ole Miss 17-20, and Ole Miss did not need to lose that game this early.
Oh no, it's bad. It's bad. It's rough out here. Because I'll tell you what, I'm for it though. I'm here. I'm with the Kentucky Dream Breakers right now. Like, let's end some people's dreams. Let's give them some losses out here and make it stressful in the SEC. It's like, if we can't go, fuck it. Let's start making some people earn their way there. Because I'll tell you what, Jackson Dart, my guy, you threw 1 touchdown. This was an Ole Miss team that was scoring 30-something plus points a week. Easy. And you guys couldn't, you could get more than 1 passing touchdown. I think it's a tough game. It's not like they didn't know Kentucky was tough. I mean, they saw Georgia struggle against this team. So honestly, I mean, hey, this is SEC football. This is what it is. And Kentucky came in, they delivered. They said, you know what? We had 1 mishap. We should have beat Georgia. We ain't gonna let this happen twice. We don't give a fuck who you are. Like, it ain't gonna be easy for you. We ain't gonna make no more lying down for y'all. And they got that upset.
They're starting to call Lane Kiffin the oh my gosh, what was his name? The James Franklin of the South.
Oh God!
They started calling him that. I said, "Oh no, not the James who can beat everyone else and loses to the top teams and then has an inexplicit upset."
Oh, not James.
I was like, "Damn, we're calling him the James of the South." Just like they started. That's like when they were calling whatchamacallit, Riley the James of the West. I was like, damn.
well, at the time when he was out there, he was just struggling.
Yeah, like, that last year was bad. But ooh, that's tough, man. And Byron, man, you watched the nightcap. A team we all like, Utah, no Cam Rising, I believe. They got smoked by Arizona.
Yeah, Cam Rising was out again. Utah just looked terrible. I watched it after watching Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State, Michigan. I should have just went to bed, but I was like, you know what? Utah's playing. I like them. Let's watch. No, they look terrible. They couldn't really move the ball until the fourth quarter. They went up, and then literally the next drive, Noah Fafita just looked amazing and scored, and that was the end of it. Utah turned it over on downs 4 times. They even started the game by turning it over on downs. Boy. Like, their first drive, they turned it over on downs. They need Cam Rising back. Like, I forget his name, but Wilson, who's the brother of Zach Wilson, just did not look at this game.
Wait.
Hopefully, Cam Rising comes back next game, but we'll see.
That was 2 top 10 teams. Yeah.
You said brother of Zach Wilson? Like BYU Zach Wilson?
Yeah, BYU Jets Zach Wilson. I think his name is Isaac Wilson.
Man, he needs a conference call with his brother. It's rough out here.
It is tough. We really should have known that this weekend was going to be absolutely crazy the way it started with the Friday night game. My goodness. The Miami Virginia Tech game, Miami escapes 38-34 on a very controversial call to paint the picture for people who didn't watch. Virginia Tech basically just throws a Hail Mary and it gets called a touchdown. They're excited, all that. They're reviewing it. There's no real good angle to see if it was a touchdown or not. And everyone who watches football knows when those little announcers say it has to be like 100, you have to be 100% proof, proof without a shadow of a doubt that it was X, Y, and Z. And if you don't have 100% proof without a shadow of doubt that it's a non-touchdown or whatever, you can't change it. But
it's
somehow,
indisputable
yep.
evidence.
Mm-hmm. But there was no indisputable evidence that he caught it or not. So that means you're supposed to leave it as a touchdown. But they said, nope, incomplete. Miami literally escapes. Virginia Tech freaking heartbroken. What craziness on a Friday night.
That's pain. That's welcome to pain. That's all that is. That's welcome to pain. It's like, welcome to pain. Y'all thought y'all was coming up in here into the U and getting this dub. It was like, you spoiled this for all the betters because Miami's supposed to dunk on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was. Because I'll tell you what, Cam Ward, for his 4 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown, my man threw 2 crucial picks.
Yeah.
Like, not just like crazy, 2 crucial picks and a fumble. Like, this was Virginia Tech's chance. Like, Virginia Tech, that was the storybook ending for how you beat the U. On a Hail Mary pass down the field with the clock expiring because Drones, for what it's worth, 2 touchdowns, 1 he was cooking them.
Yeah.
Like that, oh man, that's just pain.
I felt
that's just pain.
When Buddy, and Cam Ward had a fumble. He had 2 picks and a fumble.
Yes, sir. 3 turnovers.
And they still win. Like, and Virginia Tech was able to run
a pick 6.
Virginia Tech came to play, man. Like, and that's one of those things where I don't think their season recovers from that. Like, I think it's just gonna be a downward slide because they had them. Like,
I mean, they 2-3. So I mean, at this point, it's like, I mean, in this their defense, I'll give them their defense. A lot of pressure on Cam Ward. A lot of pressure. Very, like, I think their defensive force is all seniors. So a lot of leadership on that defensive front.
Yeah, if it was going to be incomplete, just call it incomplete. Don't call it a touchdown and have no proof that it wasn't a touchdown or not.
Yeah, they really screwed Virginia Tech after that. Had that touchdown, man. I was like, when it happened, I was like, okay, because they didn't call it at first. It was like 20 seconds before they called it. I was like, oh, it's a touchdown. I was like, oh shit, Virginia Tech just really won this game in Miami, and then they reviewed it for like 5-7 minutes and said, nope, not a touchdown.
Psych.
I know those Virginia Tech fans and those players. Oh my god.
Oh, seeing the player, the guy who got it deflated, bro. I was like, oh dear. I don't even know what you say as a coach in the locker room.
I mean, it was nothing man. Man, because I'll tell you what, when they showed it, because at first Miami was celebrating because they were like, oh, it's an incomplete pass. The players were like getting hype. Players on the field. They done turn. Another thing that's pissing me off, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how you guys feel about it. When people are scoring, they turn off the stadium lights and turn on the lights, like do a strobe effect. Like, what the hell? When we start doing that shit? Like I understand these kids got money.
I'm cool for it before the game, like pregame walk in.
Like, but not every fucking score. Like, you get a
no.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I know these kids are making money, but this isn't prime time. Not all these kids is showtime. Like, you need to keep the fucking lights on. Let's keep the ball game going. But they had the lights going on and off, and you would have thought, like, oh my god, these niggas won the Super Bowl. And then they called that touchdown, and then all the Virginia Tech players started getting hyped. That's what they like. It's true, just heart jerking back and forth pain. It's like, oh my god,
it was wild. It's wild, man. That started off the Friday thing. Then some other close ones. Oklahoma, who last time we saw them, they were getting smoked by Tennessee. They were in a battle with Auburn. They came all the way back, won 27-21. And then the team up north, Michigan, the same script, almost the same script from the USC game, almost the exact same, 27-21. they found a way to win against it. I mean, Cedric had his thing like Michigan should have taken the L that, but they both those teams found a way.
Yeah, man. Auburn was up 21-10 in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta learn how to hold a lead, man. You can't give up. You can't give up 17 points in the fourth quarter, man. So they scored at the beginning of the fourth, and then Oklahoma said, haha, no, y'all good.
And to Michigan's credit, they made a good decision here. Mullins taking the lion's share of the carries. Shout out to Mullins. Shout out to Justin, who's probably run a little bit late, but he mentioned that guy. That should be their every down back, and Donovan Edwards being the change of pace back, because Mullins really be showing something special, getting a lot of yards per carry, and so man had 24 carries in this game, 111 yards and 2 tutties.
Mm-hmm.
Man, with Auburn too, because they gave that up. Obviously, their coach is Hugh Freeze. Man, he called his team out like I ain't never seen no coach call his team out like that. Man, he basically called his team ass, bro. Like we got to find a guy who could throw the ball not to the other team. Like what?
Damn.
He was going crazy.
It was like RDC World 1. The Doc Rivers talks in the locker room.
And he said, y'all know the talent I inherited. I'll just leave it at that. Basically calling them ass.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
And he called them ass. He called the previous coach ass.
He's like, y'all know what I inherited. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was going.
Sir, now he on the radar though. We'll see what happens these next couple of years, my guy.
And he's at a big school. He's finally back at a big school because remember, he was on the way up until that scandal.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on an Ole Miss team that was beating Saban's Bama.
Yep.
But then he had a scandal. He had those. It's always a scandal.
We'll be waiting to see now. You talk all that shit. Don't bring no ass recruits.
Yeah, man. He's like, y'all know what I inherited. The AD knows what I inherited. I'm gonna just leave it at that. He's like, don't. He's like, take it easy. Glory is coming. Auburn glory days are coming back soon.
Okay.
That's what he said. It's wild, man. Okay. And then Texas A&M pulling out against Arkansas, 21-17. They're still chugging along since that Notre Dame game.
The Arkansas team is tough.
Facts. Well, last of them still ain't here, but main event of the weekend. Oh my goodness. Georgia, Alabama, 7:30 night game, ABC. Man, those when they started walking out and that place started rocking, I was like, "Oh, this is a game."
Yes, sir.
I was sitting there. I was like, "Man, I was trying to suit up. Like, I was like, oh, this kind of getting me hyped up."
What?
Oh, bro, I was getting hyped, bro. When I saw Kevin DeBoer walking out there with the Bama players looking serious, I was like, "Oh, they ain't playing games."
Mark said, "Suit up, Margo." About to put on the pads, put on the pants. He's like, "Where's my helmet?" He's yelling for Courtney, "Where's my super suit?"
Shit was absolutely fire that beginning, but I don't think anyone expected the start that we saw. I have never seen Alabama that focused, and this is Saban era too, to send a message than I did that Saturday.
Yeah, they were on a mission, man. Listen, I know everyone trying to take Georgia to win, but don't forget about us.
Shout out to Byron. Byron took Bama. He said Jaden Milroe, legs, and all that was going to be the difference. And that first half, I was screaming, if you do not have your Heisman bet in for Jaden Milroe right now, you better do it now at halftime because this is a generational performance we are watching.
Yes, that man had 16 carries for 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. He went 27 for 33 for 374 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I told you, man, his mobility might be the difference, man. It was.
They scored 28 straight points.
Yes.
Cedric, what were your thoughts seeing Georgia get absolutely destroyed that first quarter?
Georgia's defense was just getting annihilated by Jalen Milroe. Just annihilated. Just purely annihilated. Like, I honestly, I don't even know how they battled back to get some stops in the second half. It's like, you watch that first half of that game, and everything was going Alabama's way. Like, you get a third down and long. Jalen Milroe skirts up that end sideline and fucking breaks a run for 20 yards. Couple other potential stops. He's running the side, touchdown, throwing the ball to the open guy, man, Williams. Oh my God. Like, that first 28 points, I literally was like, well, I hope they didn't unpack their bags too much in the locker room. It's about time to go home.
21-0 the first quarter. That was the first quarter.
Hot man. You know the old rules. You know what it is. 21 time to hit restart. The game's over.
Hand over the controller.
Over. Yep.
Yeah,
I thought Carson Beck had money on Bama the way he was like just throwing these bad picks. Like, these weren't like super contested balls. Like, my guy was like overthrowing right into a defensive person's chest. I was like, damn, this.
With Carson Beck, it was really making me see. I was like, maybe because we've seen him for 4 years. Like, is this who he is in big games without Brock Bowers?
In fairness, what was it? I think because before Beck, it was Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
I'll tell you this. Wherever he is, if he's still in LA, I don't know if he is. Stetson Bennett isn't throwing 3 interceptions against Alabama like that.
No, I've never seen them that focused in a hat. Like, it is a fact too. Fourth downs, wheel routes, touchdowns. Milroe running on the side once Milroe got to the edge, touchdown. When it was 28-0, and they show Saban up there, no smiles, nothing. Just like, hey man, got to finish off. But like you said, 3 picks. Well, his third pick comes at the end of the game, but he had those 2 that it was just. But then second half, Alabama, Georgia's like, all right. Kirby said, all right, we ain't having this team embarrass us like this on national TV again. Come on now. Let's do some things. And they slowly fought their way back. And then, I mean, they only scored the 8 points in the third quarter. Then that fourth quarter, they start going crazy. Had 19 points. I mean, Georgia had 2 100-yard receivers. Like, you start making, and you're just sitting here like, hold on. Is Georgia really, are they coming back? They took the lead the first lead of the whole game.
Yep.
And you're like, holy shit, at the end of the game, it's over. And then Milroe, this is just a legacy defining moment. Milroe to Williams. 75 yards. Blouses.
Yeah. After, like you said, after Georgia threw that late touchdown, there was like a 67-yard pass, Jalen Bell from Carson Beck. I was like, oh shit, this game might be over because Georgia was stopping Alabama now. They started moving the ball offensively, converting fourth downs. I was like, damn, Georgia might really have won this. And then in one play,
sir,
Jalen Milroe throws a pass to Ryan Williams. He spins, catches it, starts running, spins again, have 2 Georgia defenders run into each other, and then that was it. To the house. I was like, oh shit, that might be the play of the year.
That was play of the year. That was the game of the year so far. Like, that game lived up to everything. So hyped up. Let me get the exact thing. It was the most watched regular season primetime game since 2017. It averaged 12.2 million viewers. And that night when Georgia was coming back, it peaked at 14.1 at 11:15 p.m. So when people heard Georgia was coming back, they turned back on.
Yes, sir.
That's when I started really tuning in too. Was when Georgia started coming back. I was like, oh shit, this is a game now.
I don't, man. This Ryan Williams, 17-year-old freshman.
Man should be in high school, cooking high school. And he out here cooking college adult. Like some of these men, he cooking 22, 23 shit. If this is Miami, half of 25. Like he out here cooking everybody, bro. Like this is wild.
You're sitting there, and if you haven't watched like a Bama game, especially in the Midwest, especially in Ohio, because you're just like, oh yeah, we got the best freshman wide receiver. We got Jeremiah Smith, and then you see Ryan Williams, you're just like, wait, he's a freshman too? You're like, oh dear. Like these two, like I already saw some scouts saying if these two could come out as freshmen right now, they'd be the top 2 wide receivers picked.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, the guy's 17. That's what's crazy. The kid's 17 years old. Like for me, Milroe throwing, I think it was a 50-yard bomb to him upon catch. But it's the moves, like Byron said, the spin to catch it 2 feet in, by the way. 2 feet in, 2 feet down. That's a good catch in the NFL.
Yeah.
And turns it into a tutty. Oh, my God.
Man, it's just wild that finishes like that. Then beckoning them to get down, that corner, smooth interception. Like that was, oof. And then that was game. Georgia goes down again. I was waiting for the producer because he said ain't no way Georgia was going down. Kirby Smart revenge. Alabama said, oh no, we ain't losing in front of Papa Nick.
No.
Yeah, man. Saban was back in the voting and they knew.
Oh, yeah.
The craziest thing is, man, they couldn't play like this when Saban was being honored, but damn it. Like, they couldn't do this in South Florida. But damn it. You said, who? Georgia? Oh, we here for Georgia.
And there's no excuses for how bad Carson Beck played in the first half because just like we were kind of hot about Ohio State coming off a bye, their defense. Both these teams came off a bye.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fully healthy.
You can tell what Alabama did in their bye versus what Georgia did in their bye. Like, Alabama was focused. Like, our next game is against Georgia. We got to get ready.
Again, like, it's not even like just Carson Beck, though. It's the Georgia defense.
Oh, yeah. They were getting carved up.
You giving up 4 straight tutties? We just giving up the booty like that? No Diddy? Like, this is wild, bro. Like, we just letting them come down here and march on us like this? Like, shit.
And then Georgia also had a safety.
They couldn't
do it. Yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot about that. That fucking... honestly, people, if you're blaming Carson Beck for that, you're a fucking idiot. Because it's either that or get mauled to death in the fucking end zone. So, like, dude threw it. No receivers were even there. So there's a flag. There's a safety. Like, he was just trying to get rid of the ball so he didn't get killed.
That's wild, too. You think of Georgia, like, you're just like, if you do the walking down the street, you tell someone threw for 439, 200-yard receivers, and they still lose the game. Unbelievable. Wow. Speaking of the devil, Justin.
What's up?
You said there was no shot Georgia was going to lose that game. And Alabama heard you. I think you're starting to piss people off on this podcast.
I might be, bro.
Because ever since you talked shit about Kentucky, they almost beat Georgia, and they took out, now they're calling them James Franklin of the South, Ole Miss.
Fuck yeah, they did. That shit was crazy.
Like, what are you doing to these teams, bro? Why are you pissing them off on this?
Bro, I must have put some shit on fucking Carson Beck. Goddamn, 3 picks, air fumble. I don't know what I did to that man.
So who you gonna talk shit about today? Because we're near. Who you gonna talk shit about today? You're gonna piss off?
Man, we'll see. We'll see. I got some shit. I got a little bit of shit.
But Justin? What did you think about that Alabama Georgia game though? Because that shit was cinema from walking out to the end.
Man, that shit. I wish I wasn't at a wedding and I didn't have to watch that shit via highlights because that shit was probably a goddamn movie. Bigger and badder than any movie that you could probably ever watch that anybody could write. I mean, Alabama just came out that bitch firing on all cylinders. It was 28-0 at that point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was 28-0. I mean, Milroe was running all over them, throwing the ball. Ryan Williams. Oh my goodness. This nigga is 17 years old.
Freshman.
That nigga is a child. Someone need to tell me when he turned 18. Because oh my goodness. That catch to win that, and, second half, Georgia started coming back because, you in that mode. You're just like, fuck it. At this point, we just going to start chucking that bitch and see what happens. And then Georgia started to make some shit happen. And then that last play, right after Georgia finally gets the lead, Brian Williams makes that damn catch. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's both coming, and that's the thing with the Beck thing too. Like both of them came off a bye, and like you saw one team, like Alabama. I've never seen them look like that focused to like really send a message to the world.
Yeah, I don't know how Georgia came out so flat in that situation. I think honestly the crowd might have gotten to him because that. Watching the highlights, obviously, I'm watching.
No, crowd was going. That crowd was
going.
I
know, like through the highlights, it was just clips of the game, and those motherfuckers were going crazy. And then when Georgia went up, ESPN panned like all the fans in their faces and shit. And then that shit was crazy. And then after Ryan Williams makes that catch, they just go buck wild again. It was a fucking movie, bro. That shit was insane. One of the best games I've seen on highlights. One of the best performances from a fucking child that I've ever seen in my life, being completely honest.
Yeah, we're about to leave this game, but Justice, just think about it. Him and Jeremiah Smith are both freshmen.
Yeah.
That Biletnikoff battle these next 3 years is going to be, maybe this year. The Biletnikoff battle the next 4 years, 3 years is going to be crazy.
Fuck, these niggas might be trying to change rules to get to the league earlier. These niggas can play right now.
I was going to say, because, that nigga could go to the league at 20.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild.
Those two,
I'm gonna be cooking niggas.
I can't wait to see who wins the bullet because these two freshmen right now. Oof. So this happened right after literally our last podcast. And Byron, you wish you were able to talk about. So I'm gonna start with you. The UNLV hoe behavior.
I don't even know where to start. So it came out last Wednesday, literally the day after we recorded, that the starting quarterback for UNLV left. We're like, okay, why the fuck are you leaving? He said,
not just leaving, an undefeated team right now who would be in the playoffs as the Group of 5 team potentially.
Yes. They were 3-0. Starting quarterback left. Then it came out that he was promised a certain amount of money. They basically hold him out of that money. Then it further came out that it was a verbal promise from the assistant coach. They never signed a contract to officially get that money. And then I don't know if it was the next day, another player left. I think for the same reason.
The running back,
yeah. So your starting running back and starting quarterback left while you're up 3-0 in the season.
Yeah,
and UNLV hasn't came out and said anything.
The coach did say that they're handling.
Oh, the coach said something.
Yeah, they're handling it internally.
I missed that.
He's coaching. Like they got a chance to make the damn playoff. I know Saban went fucking off about this on game day. Like he was not happy. With the because they decided. Because, usually a red shirt, it's like, all right, we're going to save you for like next year, blah, 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 you're hurt. They're like, oh, no, I'm a red shirt and I'm going to go somewhere else after. Justin, you've said it first, like, you quit on your team, man.
It's not the best look. It's not the best look for a football player to quit on his undefeated team. His undefeated team, he's already a senior. He probably doesn't really have any NFL prospects. So the thing is, it's just like, why even doing that? That you going, it's just a fuck situation. If UNLV problems from something, but like at some point you gotta get that shit put in writing. You gotta put that shit in writing to protect yourself. And if there's nothing in writing, there's no contract that's saying that I'm owed this money. You can't do that to your football team. You can't do that to your team. Like. Those niggas on the team ain't worried about your pockets. They ain't worried about your pockets. They want you out there making sure that you ain't fucking up their dreams. But they shit, low-key ain't matter because the backup
went nuts.
Yeah, the backup came in. They beat Fresno State 59-14, and the backup had 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So I think UNLV is fine.
Good, humble African American man. Cedric.
I mean, like just it's a fucked situation all the way around. I honestly get the inverse of what Justin's saying. Like, you have likely no NFL prospects.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last chance to play football, and you came to the school not just to play football, but to get the bag in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And while it's a verbal contracts are still binding in some natures, depending on the performance and how belief that contract is made. Because otherwise, motherfuckers wouldn't be promising nigga shit out in these streets. I think the biggest thing that for this is because it's the NIL side of it. I believe it's like they promise him brand exposure of some degree to them, and it just hasn't amassed. Which I don't know what that necessarily means in terms of UNLV, that they may have thought that they were going to have more money for him, and it just isn't there. And if that's the case, I mean that's the business decision, my guy. You went to UNLV. Like, no offense, but this isn't an Ohio State. This isn't a Michigan. Like, sure, I'm sitting in Vegas, people rocking with them. Hella rocking with it because it's the only thing out there in that desert outside of the casinos and the strip clubs. But at the same time, my guy, you went to UNLV. Like, you really think these motherfuckers are going to be having the bag like that? So in that respect, I agree with Justin as well. It's like you someday you gotta just cut it. Like, you say, you know what? This may not be the bag, but this is my last time. We're undefeated. This is my chance to get my own brand exposure out there and keep winning these football games.
Yeah, because in the world of college football, if you do really well at a school, a small school, and get them to glory, like right now, the 12-team playoff, he won't have to pay for anything ever in that city ever again. Like, he's a legend. And right now, they're the second highest ranked Power 5 team behind Boise State. And they have a big game against Kyle McCord on Friday. And if they could beat Syracuse, I mean...
Yeah, they go 5-0 in the season.
Yeah, but, Saban, he went off. Like, he was just like, what are we doing here? We have players quitting on undefeated competitive teams now for some dollars? Like, what are we doing? And that money, I mean, I don't understand, too, like, it's, 4 games in? Why didn't he say, like, after the first game, like, hey, what am I getting?
Well, he probably did.
Yeah.
He was definitely probably asking for that money.
He probably did.
Then quit after the first game, not the fourth.
But you know how it works, Martin. You know how it works. They spun his ass. It was like, oh, it's coming. Don't worry. We got to secure it up. It's coming. We're just waiting. I mean, it's only week 1. Be patient with us. Just stay rock with us for a little bit. We'll get you the money. And then week 2 comes, he gets that dub. Like, hey, I mean, still a couple figures short here, my guys. And they're spinning him again. I honestly think the quitting thing probably came at a moment of yeah, we ain't giving you the money, or we don't have it, or we ain't gonna have it. Because honestly, because what was else they wouldn't pay for him moving out there. I think what was it, like $3,100?
Yeah, I think they said
they gave him.
I think the deal ended up being that he was going to get like $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Which ain't $100,000.
No. And it barely covered his moving fee, how much it cost him to move from. I don't even know where the fuck he came from, honestly.
Yeah, New York Times just had an article about it 12 hours ago too.
I will say Florida State probably hopes DJ would quit and give them their money back. So that's how you look at it. It's all how the team's doing everything.
Oh man, I was really hoping his name would get brought up this week, just because they ain't even relevant. That team is ass.
But to the UFB, I couldn't quit on my team, bro. I couldn't. That's just me.
Yeah, but like Cedric said, because let's be completely fucking honest, this nigga is not going to the NFL. He's not.
Oh, definitely not anymore.
This nigga is not going to the NFL
anywhere.
Oh,
he wasn't going.
But if he tried out, and them scouts are like, so you quit on your team? Oh,
but he wasn't going to try out though. Like you get that. They call you. You don't call them. They call you if you're not good enough for the practice squad. And then you honestly, the true fucked up shit is you praying on niggas to get hurt when you're on the practice squad so you get your opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been tough. It would have been a tough road for him to make an NFL roster. So I have no problem with him trying to get that back, though. But it's fucked up to quit on your team like that. Like that's tough shit. And now that I'm like listening to us talking about, he probably talked to those niggas about it. He had to talk to.
I don't know
the rest of them about
I'm saying,
it.
but like for him to go and then what? Less than 48 hours, the running back goes to.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't, that's what I'm like. I wanted to hear something a little bit more from UNLV because like. It's one thing if one player is just out here being a prima donna. It's another thing when your starting quarterback and your starting running back are saying practically the same thing. It's like, okay, but like, why are they both leaving? Like, how much money did you probably spend from? Again, this is fucking Las Vegas. This is UNLV. They ain't that much money to go around for both these niggas. So like, what was out here promised?
I don't know. It's just the fact too. It was like if there was some, but then the fact that after they both left, they put up a 50 burger.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then the backup quarterback, so I'm just like, so were they the problem? Like, were they cancer in the locker room?
I don't know. I mean, they were winning. So I can't say it's necessarily a problem. It's the fact that they still got people to get the job done. Because, I mean, the backup quarterback had a fuck ton of rushing yards. I don't know if the guy who left was a scrambling quarterback or not.
He definitely was. He's not a very good passer.
So, I mean, the guy in the backup, he was waiting for his shot too. Maybe he was promised 75,000 and he got his money. I don't know.
I don't know. Exclude the money. It just kind of reminds me of the Tate situation here at Ohio State. How a buddy would have just sat here and rode the bench. He would have been a legend at Ohio State, not have to pay for anything. But he transferred 6 billion times and now absolutely has nothing.
Well, yeah, but like you said, keep the money out of the situation. That's literally the only reason I left. Because you do the flip side, the Quinn Ewers situation. Quinn Ewers came to Ohio State, got the bag, left, went to Texas. He's starting quarterback. I mean, outside of injuries, he was a Heisman front runner before he got injured this season. So
yeah, but he's going to go to the league. But the UNLV,
but again, like you talking about endless sandwiches, that doesn't fucking keep the lights on. And that's if he stays in. That's if he stays in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is an expensive ass city to live in.
But I'm saying, like, if he would have stayed in Las Vegas, got whatever money he had, took this team to a BC Power 5, he would have been making more money in the long run over than just this short 100,000.
But how is he like? That's not tangible money that he's actually getting. Like people aren't charging him for shit. That's not money he can rely on. That's not a promise he can rely on. And that's only if he stays. Well, I'm saying that's only if he stays in that city, Martin. Like, what if he moves, or if he moves to California?
But that's Vegas. That's not like we're not talking about like a Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or Columbus, Ohio, or like the blue blood college football programs that are really making money that have fucking fans. Like it's not like that. It's not like Ohio State with what Ryan they say on Ryan Marcel's podcast. It's like 10 million. The fucking OSU fan base, like UNLV is not that type of place to where. You can lose in the college football playoff and you a made man for the rest of your life. It don't work like that. And it's in Vegas, all the different businesses going down in there. I don't think it would have. I don't think him staying and riding out with UNLV necessarily would have made him into a made man if they really actually did something like it would at one of the blue blood college football programs.
I think it was because I'm basing it off of it's basketball, but I'm basing it off of someone I know, like Rob Brandenburg. He played on the VCU Final Four team that went out of nowhere. He stayed in Virginia, didn't transfer anything, stayed in Virginia, made his basketball camp business. And since he could put on his thing, I'm Rob Brandenburg, I was on that Final Four team. He's been set. That's his career now. And he's been doing basketball camps. So he could have done a similar thing.
Yeah, but like that's the thing, though. Like you're saying he should rely on that.
I'm not saying you don't know. I'm just saying in the long run.
Yes, you are though, because you're saying like use the football platform and lean into the football platform to make money.
Yeah,
right. You're saying to rely on the fans to remember who you are and to support your business. In Vegas, you're asking him to rely on that, but he just came there. Like it's different because I believe Rob Edwards wasn't he there for several years at VCU. This was a different situation completely entirely because that portal, because the transfer portal wasn't really a thing. So like you're not coming in from the couch from someplace bumfuck nowhere coming in and say like now I'm the big man on campus. Like No, you're a household name in Virginia. Everyone knows you. Everyone rocks you. You have faithful and loyalty to the program. Even if he stayed for one season, this guy doesn't have that. And to say you need to rely on that for his last season, and then he has to go out into the real world knowing that he's not playing football on a competitive level to make an income, and that anytime to build and start a training camp, you're going to lose more money than you're going to make money. I don't know what the fuck the guy's degree is, and he's a football player. No offense, I'm going to be stereotypical. I imagine that it's some type of undecided major until they check his credits and they find something that he can graduate in. And then maybe grad school, I don't know. But to rely all on that, on the Las Vegas fan base, not to mention an organization that promised you money that's not paying you, I feel like it's a tough sell.
Well, he's not going to make money anyway now past this because his major is in psychology, and you are not making money in that unless you get a master's and beyond.
Hey, he may go get that doc.
Trying to get his back. Trying to get his back out this college football shit.
I was going to say, like, trying to get his back to pay for grad school.
Like, yeah, because he is... Oof, that is... Yeah, because he previously played at Holy Cross and then UNLV. And now
so it's an FCS school.
Yeah, and now he's currently not affiliated with any team.
Yeah.
So,
which goes back to my original point. Now that this shit's out there that he quit, it might be hard to get on another team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I think, at the end of the day, I think you have to. This is your future. I mean, you have to take that in calculus. Like, you know what it's going to be like. Like, ain't nobody going to sit here and excuse the fact that you left on an undefeated team. But you ran for the bag. So
this is stated right now in this New York Times. This is the first time that publicly a player elected to take a red shirt and transfer in season due to a player's claim of unsigned, unwritten, unenforceable NIL agreements not being met. And that's the thing that Saban went ballistic on.
Yeah. NIL is a different game now.
I'll say it's going to be, I will not be amazed if something else happens like this, because I mean, that's the nature of where we're in.
It'll be a problem. It'll be an actual problem if it's one of the big schools, one of the schools that matter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's why Saban's like, let this happen. Let this happen one more time, and this shit will be at Congress's doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
Like Justice said, let this shit happen one time in the South. Oh my God.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh my God. If that shit was at Tuscaloosa, Saban would be driving to the White House personally.
I do agree. Especially, and then like thinking about if it was the Cowboy player, you think it was like a 5-star. Actually did some shit too. they ain't gonna let that shit happen.
Oh, what if this happened in Columbus? How mad would you be if this was Will Howard saying, like, yeah, I'm about to quit?
Bro, especially 3-0 or 4-0 right now, and this man just quits. Come on,
Byron's
you
on
transfer
campus.
from Kansas State.
Byron's on campus. Byron's looking for Will Howard. He's like, what's that nigga schedule? Like, I know he's still going to class. Like, he may not be playing, but he better be showing up to class.
No, that goes to you and Justin thing, because if that would have happened at like one of those crazy cities, it would have been over for him. He would not have made it out alive.
Yeah, and Ohio State fans can get crazy, man. So
no,
and that entire camp, bro, that nigga getting jumped. Like, I don't know if Will's making it to his car.
Justin, is Missouri going to beat Texas A&M?
That's a good question.
Where's the game at?
Texas A&M, the toughest place to play in NCAA football. 25 video game.
We'll see. We'll see. My boys in Columbia, Missouri have been bullshitting lately.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
They've been actually losing me money, and it's been making me sad. I don't gamble like that. And I trusted the niggas.
I feel bad for Auburn. I think they're going to lose by 50.
Who they playing?
They got Georgia.
Oh. Not to get they ass beat.
In Georgia?
And Georgia too on ABC.
Hey, back to that game. That might have been the best thing that fucking happened in Georgia, though. Getting that loss out the way early, though, like not playing your best. Kirby Smart got some shit to say to them. They about to be listening now.
Yeah, he actually got to practice. Like, they got to practice hard. You're right.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, though, because they still got Tennessee. They still got Texas.
I'll tell you, well, maybe not the Texas game, because Texas might be better than them. But that Tennessee game, I'll tell you right now, they're not going to come out the way they did against Alabama. especially not that first
They
half.
can't
can help
afford to. They cannot afford
Yeah,
to.
this week there's not that many big games. It's more precursors for next week. I mean, Justin, your sneaky team. If Miami would have lost, man, Clemson's right back in the top of that ACC.
Hey,
they're being quiet underneath the radar. I think this is what Dabo wants.
Yeah, don't sleep on Clemson. They at Florida State this week, so you know that's a W. So
yes, sir.
You already know the fuck going on there. Is. And Virginia Tech got robbed. I already know Miami.
Yeah, we talked about it.
we all know that nigga from Virginia Tech did not catch that ball. But those refs called on the field touchdown, and there was nothing in that damn video that said it wasn't a touchdown. You gotta stick with the call. You gotta stick with the call. And maybe because I wanted the upset, but nah. But we all know he ain't catching. But still, you said on the field that he caught the ball. You couldn't see anything on the replay that said he didn't catch the ball. You stick with the call on the field, and you give Virginia Tech their upset.
Dustin, so you against your rough brother in on this one?
No, it was an ass call. There's nothing to defend on that. So you're right. I'm just wondering because this one's a little weaker because again, next week, the next 2 weeks are going to be absolutely hell, matchup wise. So Tennessee, they play Arkansas. I think Arkansas is a little scrappy. Did y'all see that at the beginning? Washington was a favorite over Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
They opened up as a fave. 7:30 NBC at Washington at night.
I think
they still are a 2.5 point favorite. Interesting.
The game don't really got the juice because these teams aren't the same that they were last year. But Washington is not as bad as I thought they were going to be with not having the same team.
Yeah, they're 3-2, 1-1 in the Big Ten.
But Michigan cannot throw the fucking football.
No, they cannot.
If Washington can handle their rushing attack, I feel like Washington can for sure win that game at home.
You're right. It's just I saw that. I was just like, interesting. But that's what we got going right now. So this week's kind of light. Justin, real quick before we go to winners and losers, OSU's a 20-point favorite. You think they cover?
20-point favorite at home against Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they covered last week. It was one of the only things I was right about. I told y'all Ohio State's gonna whoop the dog shit out of Michigan State.
Oh, if we're talking about the covers, I said the thing about Colorado and about Penn State. Penn State ain't no 19 points better than Illinois.
Yeah, we talked about that. We did talk that out live. I didn't take it because I forgot.
Well, I did. Just like I took the Colorado. I don't know who the fuck decided Colorado was going to be a 12-point underdog. That was ass. I was like, thank you. Thank you. That's free cash. That was free cash. Free cash.
And then whoop those niggas' ass, too.
Mm-hmm. And now with Utah losing, they're in the Big 12 race.
No, we'll see who comes out the Big 12. All those teams are going to have multiple losses. All those teams are going to have multiple losses.
I'm just saying. All righty, let's go to some winners and losers to close it out. Cedric, you can go first.
Oh, we're not going to do performance of the week?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, shoot, I skipped that out. My bad. Go ahead. Well, Cedric, you can go first on that, too. You go first for both.
Can it be? Well, performance of the week, I got, Ryan Williams. Honestly, for me, 17 years old, on that platform, almost 200 yards receiving, caught a 75-yard bomb reception. Before that, they keep finishing him with 177 yards receiving total, so he had over 100 yards already on Georgia. Yeah, that's my performance of the week. Do you want me to go winners and losers too?
No, we'll go these performances, then I'll get it back to you.
One more thing on Ryan Williams. He just turned 17 this year. This nigga does not turn 18 until next February. The season will be over.
Oh, this motherfucker gonna be 19 years old going to the NFL.
He'll be a 19-year-old junior. That's wild.
That's nuts. That motherfucker hasn't even taken calculus and he's cooking these niggas.
Byron, who you got for your performance of the week?
Before you go, nigga don't need calculus. He going to the NFL.
Shit, you see the way he's spinning on?
He's done Biden, Carl Jones. I think I came here to play football.
But you see the way you saw the mask on
the
little
tape. Smart. He might be super
kill
smart.
Everybody.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because the nigga had to graduate high school early.
Yeah, he's probably.
But you saw his nose tape. kill everybody.
Right, kill everybody. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
damn.
Go ahead, Byron.
My performance of the week, I gotta go with the Boise State running back Ashton Jenkins.
See, that's
26
you son of
for
a bitch.
259 yards, 4 touchdowns, had a 64-yard rushing touchdown and a 59-yard rushing touchdown. That boy be moving.
See,
He almost has 1,000 yards in 4 games.
It's wild. He's so good.
It's Justin.
Well, we took Ryan Williams off my list. We took Gentry off the list. I gotta go that boy Jalen Milroe, baby. 27 for 33, 374 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries, 117 yards, and 2 touchdowns, boy. Leading the Heisman race. Like I said last week, Heisman eliminator game. Carson Beck, you gone.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. He's out. Carson Beck is out of that race. He is dead now. There's no chance. Man, there was a lot of Heisman stuff going on this path. This Heisman wide open. I mean, I think Milroe's a front runner now because you don't do that on a big stage at not be. Obviously, Gentry from Boise, Travis Hunter, he's still going absolutely wild. Like I think those 3 are the 3 right now. Man, I'm gonna stay with Alabama though. I'm giving it to Kevin DeBoer. Like this man is undefeated against, even though it's 1 game, but combined against Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, and Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
Those are 3 of the 4, like 3 of the top 10 best coaches in the game, and he's undefeated against them. He wins everywhere he goes. I didn't think he was going to do it. In his first Alabama game with Georgia, everyone, like to Justin's credit, he's right. Those Georgia people are like, bro, you cannot lose to the replacement. And he lost to the replacement. That just shows me Alabama going to be just fine these next couple of years. So, which is bad for us.
Yeah.
But
another thing I was wrong about, I buried Alabama way too early. Kellen DeBoer. Oh, yeah, that man can coach.
Yep. So that's my winner. He put himself like, I am here. And the rest of the SEC is like, boy. Oh, boy. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll go to winners and losers. Go ahead, Cedric.
Fuck you, Byron.
I'm sorry.
Because that's going to be my winner, John D. Because man's having an amazing season already with Boise State.
I need my phone for these losers. I got a list.
I mean, in the last 4 games, man, had a 6 touchdown game and a 4 touchdown game. This dude's just running all over the fucking place. But that's my winner. Yeah.
Okay.
I knew I should have chosen his performance of the week. Something told me you was going to pick him too.
It's so good.
I mean, when you go off like that, you got to be performer of the week, man.
I know. I wanted him to be the winner because you know what? He's a winner too.
It's true.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Byron.
My winner?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to do a homer. I'm gonna have to go with Alvin Kamara. Man played with a broken ribs and bruised hip against the Falcons on Sunday. He picked up every blitz that he came against him. Had 119 all-purpose yards. Had a crucial rushing touchdown when we needed it the most, even though we ended up losing. But the Saints need to pay that man. That man is out here putting the team on his back.
All right.
Pay him again?
No, he hasn't. Like, he's in his contract year.
But y'all gave him that big thing a couple of years ago, though. Like, y'all were the last, big run.
That nigga is almost 30. I don't know if you can get another big contract.
Oh, here.
I mean, this season, he's acting like he's in his prime, man.
Fair enough.
You saw what he did against the Cowboys?
The only old nigga I'm giving, the only old running back I'm giving money to is Derrick Henry.
Henry.
Well, the thing is, before that, the only person anyone agreed with in the media to give any money to was CMC, and here we are.
Oh,
that's precisely why you don't pay these niggas, bro.
I'll be back to his ass and that whole organization in a moment.
Justin, who's your winner?
Oh man, I will say the winners because I have to record afterwards. So yeah, I'll say my winners for what you gonna call it?
For NFL.
I don't got none.
I got The winner right now, because this is going to be the only time I can say this in these next couple of weeks, the Big Ten, because the Big Ten has the most undefeated teams right now in college football. OSU is 4-0, Oregon is 4-0, Penn State is undefeated. And you might be wondering who the other two teams who are undefeated in the Big Ten right now. Indiana is 5-0, and Rutgers 4-0.
Rutgers, really?
Mm-hmm. Currently, right now, 5 teams undefeated in the Big Ten.
They have a good running back there, too.
And Rutgers and Indiana schedules aren't the greatest. I know one of them has to play Ohio State and the other one doesn't. So we could be seeing them in the Big Ten championship game if this isn't fool's gold. So shout out to the Big Ten. All right.
Big Ten.
Losers. Go and keep it going. Cedric.
San Francisco. I've been bamboozled, deceived. There ain't no way you don't know that this man has 2 Achilles tendonitis. He sent up to Germany. This comes out today. He has bilateral 2 in both legs. Just happening in both legs. That's just my fantasy football woes. But Philadelphia, secondary.
Oh dear.
Especially CJ Gardner-Johnson, bro. You talk too much fucking shit to be getting cooked by every fucking top tier receiver in this fucking league. Like, I don't know how you thought you were going to put belt to asses and then man, you just got Baker put y'all on the fucking show. Fucking making it so when I wake up from my little nap on Sunday to Justin talking shit and I got to turn on the fucking game to figure out what the hell's happening to you boys. Talking about some we big ass. I'm like, wait, how bad is it? I know we ain't got no offense, but what's going on? And then we already down. I was like, God damn, where's the defense? Lord have fucking mercy. Like, made Baker look like a fucking MVP quarterback. Like, this nigga was carving y'all up. Jalen, I need you to stop turning over the ball. Like, this is terrible. 2 fumbles, my guy. Get this man some stickum. This nigga can't hold on to the ball. He's dropping it. But yeah, those are my losers.
Byron.
And they'll probably be losers again next week. These fucking bastards.
Well, they're on bye this week, so I think we're good.
Like Cedric, I'm gonna go home for my loser of the week. Rashid Shaheed. How the fuck do you open the game up and fumble fielding a 5-yard kickoff, bro? Let that shit go, man. You fumble, Falcons recover, get a touchdown. That's 7 free points. And then somehow Derek Carr just throw the open. Well, actually, the ball was tipped, but pick 6. That's another 14 free points. And then Kamara gets that crucial rushing touchdown. So we're up. Motherfucking Alontae Taylor. Pass interference. Puts them bitches in field goal range. And Young Wei Koo can hit them bitches. Now, he's a really good fucking field goal kicker. So I just need the Saints to stop shooting themselves on the fucking foot, man. Now we gotta go up against Chiefs on Monday Night Football. That's probably a loss.
And the refs.
And
shit.
That's true. And the refs.
Taylor Swift.
And
Taylor
my
Swift.
God. I forget about her sometimes. Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
and it's in Kansas, so yeah. We could have been 4-0, but 2 shitty weeks of bad offense and like we really held the Falcons to 5 field goals. You would think we would have won. No, we're so ass that we can't even beat a team with 5 field goals. We should have won that fucking game. So I'm tired of us being ass.
The funniest thing is they scored more points than us. Against
They did.
This is all field goals. Oh shit.
That's funny. Yeah. Justin.
Also, I need us to find a way to win without Taysom Hill because that man had our first 2 touchdowns, got injured, and we couldn't fucking move the ball. It's just, oh my God, we're so ass.
Go ahead, Justin.
I'm so happy that the Saints are rounding back into form. Those first 2 weeks were fucking unbearable to watch, by the way. Let's go back to the well with losers. Goddamn Florida fucking State. We gave them a week off or maybe 2 weeks off, but these guys are just fucking irrelevant at this point. DJ throws 3 picks. They gave up 204 yards rushing. And worst of all, you lose 46-16 to fucking SMU. Those niggas just got here. That's literally The SMUs of the world exist for teams like Florida State that pack on wins. They get easy wins. And you get your ass beat by fucking SMU. What are we fucking doing here, Florida State? It's back to y'all motherfuckers. And then Oklahoma State. I'm so fucking sick of this team. Shame on me for thinking that they're going to get bounced back winning against fucking Kansas State. These niggas give up 300 yards rushing. They lose at home last week to goddamn Utah without their starting quarterback. I'm just sick of Oklahoma State. So, those are my two losers right now.
Fair enough. All right, my first loser, his name is Blair. His Twitter name is Limes Influencer. He says he's a brain surgeon in his bio, but there's no way a brain surgeon could be so fucking stupid. So I think he's lying. The reason he is my loser is because today, Mr. Blair tweeted saying that John Cena stopped having good matches by 2008. And y'all repost the same particular one every day. So since 2008, and since Shawn Michaels retired, John Cena has had the most matches of the year in all promotions. He had the 2011 one. He had 2013. He had 2014. Came in second place in 2015. Came in second place in 2017. He's had banger matches with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, AJ Styles, all these past 2008. So, Mr. Blair, if you are a brain surgeon, quit, because you are dumb. That was a terrible take. Ass water. My next person is actually on Twitter again. I'm just on the Twitter trend. This is from Amuse. This is from Amuse and Two Stock Shakur, both idiots. Amuse, just to give, Amuse tweeted this. First, this person, Amuse, tweeted a picture of Jackie Robinson next to Caitlin Clark. And his tweet was, this is the first time since Jackie Robinson that a single minority, in this case, a white straight female, has exposed a sports league, its players, its coaches, and its fan base for bigotry and racism. So he is comparing Jackie Robinson, all the shit he had to deal with, and saying Caitlin Clark has exposed the WNBA for hating straight white women when there is a lot of straight white women in the league. And then Two Stock Shakur underneath commented saying Caitlin Clark was way greater and more impactful than Jackie Robinson, and it's not even close. I didn't think.
Wait, what the fuck did you just say?
You will.
Oh, Justin, he's been reading tweets.
Oh, I have been going off on tweets.
Martin's been getting baited.
Oh, bro. Yeah. Twitter is not a real place, dog.
No, but to continue on with this, then ESPN, well, they didn't tweet on this, but then ESPN the day after
like they get these
tweets about trailblazers, real trailblazers. They start off with Serena Williams. Then they go Simone Biles, showing like how they're like world record holders. And then they go Katie Ledecky, greatest swimmer ever. And then they had Caitlin Clark's rookie like stats, like a trailblazer. And then some people were just like, excuse me? She didn't even win. She has no title. She has no Olympic medals. We get what you're trying to say, but you're putting her up against the greatest ever. So that pissed people off. But then like, no, Tu Shakur, he wheeled me in. And Jamel Hill had the perfect response saying, can we go back to publicly shaming people? So those were two. My other one's more lighthearted for this one. Then I got more of the NFL. This one goes out to a YouTuber who Byron knows, named Yassine. If you don't know Yassine, he is a famous Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber. He does pretty well for his channel. I watch a lot of his stuff. He was in a big tournament that had over 2,000 competitors. He made the final four. He overextended. He filled up his entire board. 6 monsters, 4 or 5 back row, if you know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. And then he never overextend. He got hit with a card that wiped out his whole field, and he got eliminated in the final four. That is a ass way to go, Yassine. Embarrassing. And everyone made memes for him because people don't fuck with him, and they were like, fuck you, that's what you get, bitch. And I was like, whoa. But it was funny. You lost to one card. That's pain.
Yeah, and no negations out that one card.
That's it. So with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the NCAA podcast. Next week, we preview October 12th. We preview OSU Oregon, all the big games. That is next Tuesday. So gear up for that one. With that being said, we'll be back. L7C signing out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.